Hi, friends. This is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about owning the problems of your era. Okay, so I voted for Donald Trump because I didn't want to live in a world of rising crime, rising war, and rising inflation, and I think that is ending. I think crime is a lot more difficult to do today. I think we are doing things that are actually going to help to lower inflation, and war is already beginning to recede. The nations that were highly problematic, their governments are breaking apart. Nations that thumb their nose at America are now showing respect. Put some respect in your mouth when you talk about the United States of America. And I think under Donald Trump, that's happening, right? Okay. So, but let's talk about a problem that Donald Trump owns now. So one, I thoroughly, vehemently object to the idea that oh, the problems that are happening, this happened in Biden's time, right? Oh yeah, education's through the it's tanked, it's terrible, yeah. If you're a poor kid's in public school, man, yeah, he ain't gonna learn nothing, right? Like, I'm sorry, but that's not on Biden. That's just the plague years, right? 2020 to 2022 is just, we can't really do anything about it. It's not really what the president did. He didn't own that, right? And again, crime, rising inflation, rising war. Everybody's like, this is not President Joseph Biden's problem. It's other factors. They're like, well, we don't own this, right? You own the problems of your era. You own the problems of your era. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That means President Donald Trump is 100% responsible for planes dropping out of the sky and people dying. Right? Okay, that's what's happening now. Okay, so let's walk it through. I'm gonna walk you there. I'm gonna hold your hand. Let's go together. Right? How does President Donald Trump? How is he 100% responsible for the new era of planes dropping out of the sky and people dying? Right? At a frequency that should not be happening. All right. Potomac disaster, terrible, absolutely. My condolences to everybody who has family. Terrible situation. All right, okay. When that happened, I was like, that's bad, right? And then I was like, is that President? And then a bunch of people were like, this is President Donald Trump's problem. He's responsible for this, right? And I was like, oh, you seal your flapping maw, you ridiculous fools. We have a million events every day. We have a million flying events every day. This is one. This is not that big a deal. Like, in the grand scope, right? This is one in a million, one in millions. This is one in millions, right? It's not a problem. Then another plane dropped out of the sky right in my backyard, man. It's right here in Philadelphia, northeast Philadelphia. This thing went down, plane dropped out of the sky, people died, right? In 1 week, plane drops out of the sky, people die, right? Two flying vehicles drop out of the sky, people die. Wasn't even 48 hours, right? Another plane drops out of the sky, people die. That's on you, President Trump. That's 100% on you. You own it, right? You put in, and I don't need to tell you the talking points of how we got there. Every Democrat was kicking it out on Twitter, right? Now, the reality is, if it's one event, those are we put metal tubes in the sky. Of course, they're going to fall out. Two happen within 48 hours. Something's going on. And now Donald Trump is the president, who under his leadership, are the skies safe? It's a good question. It's a good question, right? I'm very fortunate. I don't fly that often, right? I didn't consider myself fortunate before today. Now I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll drive my car. I'll take a train, right? You own the problems of your era, period, right? And I wanted to do this today because I definitely put it on Joe Biden. I'm like, hey, you don't get to play that. You don't get to play that noise that these factors are in play before you, right? This happened weeks, with at least 5 to 15 days after President Trump had gotten in, and he is using his 100 days well, right? He is slamming in injunctions, right? Slamming in new decrees, slamming in new laws, right? And they have impact, literal and figurative. This is on Donald Trump. He is the president under which, in the beginning of his second term, planes started dropping out of the sky and people are dying. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing more and absolutely nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.